This contemporary Filipino textile exhibit serves to link Filipinos in the USA and Filipinos in the Philippines by showcasing their shared culture and heritage through a visual display of a variety of fabrics and a discussion of this living tradition. It will explore Philippine weaves produced by different communities today. By exhibiting, this collection aims to preserve Filipino cultural heritage, keep the legacy of traditional Filipino weavers alive, and educate the diaspora of Filipinos about their cultural inheritance. This museum-quality contemporary textile collection was carefully curated together with HABI, the Philippine Textile Council, to showcase pieces made of piña, pineapple fiber, abaca, leaf fiber, cotton, and bridal satin from different weaving traditions in the three major regions of the Philippines, Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. From Luzon, this collection includes textiles from the mountains around Baguio, Bontoc, Gadang, Ifugao, and from the west coast around Vigan, Ilocos. Bontoc. Traditionally, the women wore bright-colored wraparound skirts held by palasan belts with flower designs and long frills at the ends. The men wore loincloths of similar weaves. Gadang. The everyday traditional clothing for men was a simple G-string. For women, it was a tapis or skirt tied around the waist which would go down to the knees. They would be topless except for more formal occasions when they would wear long-sleeved, round-collared blouses. The women wove their textiles from homegrown cloth dyed in bright colors and usually included some type of beadwork. Ifugao. The Ifugao people are known for their Ikat fabrics. The term Ikat describes a resist-dyeing weaving technique whereby threads are bundled together and tied with water-resistant material to resist dyeing in certain areas. Threads can be dyed more than once to create different patterns. Ilocos. Abel is the Ilocano word for weave. Inabel is any kind of woven fabric. However, in weaving, inabel is a term used to identify Ilocano textiles. In this collection, there are Pinilian and Binakul weaves. Pinilian is an Ilocos brocade weave with repeating patterns of geometric figures, flora and fauna, animals, and human figures. The cloth is made on a pedal loom, or pangablan, requiring work by two weavers. The design appears raised from the surface of the fabric. Binakul means twill in Ilocano and is one of the original weaves of Ilocos. Requiring only one weaver, it is produced in Ilocos Norte. The patterns created by the alternating negative, black, blue, and red, and positive, white, squares, and rectangles form an op art effect in which illusion of movement imitates a whirlpool or a whirlwind. Traditionally, the designs were thought to ward off vicious spirits. From the Panay Islands in the Visayas, we have Piña textiles from Aklan, used for the Philippine national dress, and textiles from the western province of Iloilo. In Aklan, piña is made from a specific pineapple variety called red Spanish that is much smaller than the pineapple we usually eat and with much longer leaves. It is thought that the plant was brought into the Philippines by the New World and propagated there by the 17th century. By the 19th century, the Philippine made fabric of piña was known across the world. Hablon is fabric produced in Iloilo, so named because habol in Ilonggo means to weave. Hablon is thought to have been produced for both local and international consumers in a town southwest of Iloilo since the 18th century. By 1854, Iloilo was exporting an astounding amount of textiles and became known as the textile capital of the Philippines. The Patadyong is a lady's tubular skirt made from hablon that was traditionally worn at work around the house or in the garden. It literally means to be straight in Bisayan, as the skirt falls in a narrow vertical fashion. A 16th century manuscript describes the garment as a mantle with diverse colored strips made of cotton. The traditional colorful stripes, plaid, and checks pattern are still produced in various combinations and colors today. From the south in Mindanao, we have Abaca Ikat from the Bagobo, Blaan, and Tiboli, and other textiles from the Tausug and Yakan. Abaca thread is sometimes referred to as Manila hemp, but it is not hemp. It is actually from a species of banana that is native to the Philippines. More specifically, it is from the fiber of the leaves of the female abaca tree. Once washed and dried, the fibers are tied together to form thread. Durable yet light, abaca was actually used as rigging material on ships in the 19th century. The Tausug women of Jolo and Sulu specialize in tapestry weaving of headcloths called Pis Yabit and belts called Kambut. They are colorful fabric with perfectly symmetrical geometric designs such as squares, circles, polygons, and zigzags. Special to the Tausug is the Habul Tiyahian, the traditional hand-embroidered textile used across the shoulder as a sash or wrapped around the hips as a tube skirt. It is a symbol of beauty and wealth for women and is typically worn by a bride or guests at a wedding or other formal events. This piece in the collection is from an area so isolated that it still does not have electricity, and the women must hand embroider on their front porch to take advantage of the daylight. This textile is rare because of its design pattern of elongated fruit surrounded by colorful leaves and other parts of the plant. It is one of the oldest Habul Tiyahian designs, rarely embroidered today, as popular modern designs consist of bigger flowers and leaves. The Yakan of Basilan Island, just off the tip of Zamboanga, specialize in tapestry weaving with colorful, thick yarn in geometric designs on square cloth to be used as a head cover called Seputangan for women and Pis Yabit for men. The Seputangan can also be worn by women as a sash, and the Pis Yabit as a shoulder cloth by men.